Athletes, Coach Blu here. I want to talk to you about a real important principle, specifically in recovery in the world of sports. Remember, Team Addict II Athlete, we use metaphors for recovery that we also find in the sporting world. But today I want to focus on a super important principle, and that is the principle of the comeback. Now, a comeback means that there was a period of time by which you weren't playing. A comeback is kind of understood as a time that maybe you have taken a knee, maybe you've had some problems, maybe you even retired from the sport altogether. But after a little bit of time, you've been able to accumulate yourself back into a position to make a comeback. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There is no greater story that's ever been told than that of an amazing comeback. Whether it's in a game, maybe a situation or a career, or maybe just a situation in life in and of itself. Comebacks are what inspiration is founded upon. But remember what a comeback means. It means that there was once a period in time when you were doing phenomenal and doing amazing, but then something happened, and for some rhyme or reason, you ended up having to take a knee. Maybe you need to sit on the bench, ride the pine for a few years, whatever it takes. But this comeback means that you're ready to take on the responsibilities, the roles, the privileges, and the aspects of being able to work hard, train harder, and get out there on the field of battle and give it all you've got. Comebacks are important because most people know that you might have had a problem and probably have dropped off the face of the earth for a little while. So when you make that comeback, it's super important for you to understand the mechanisms and drive behind it. You don't make a comeback if you're not ready to be 100% committed and back involved, whether that's in your sobriety or a sport of your choice. You have to understand the significance behind you making it or breaking it. See, comebacks are what inspires people to do. Think about the shows that you grew up with that have some kind of amazing beginning, hard part in the middle, and then a comeback. Think about the Rocky movies when he's almost getting beaten down and he stands up and he takes it on and he knocks out the opponent, they hit the floor and the canvas, and then the crowd goes wild. Anytime we have a situation by which we've been out of the game for a significant amount of time, that comeback is going to be something more special. Now, I sometimes think about the comeback in ways of like Lance Armstrong, which was kind of an interesting thing. Lance Armstrong retired at the peak of his career, but came back because a younger, newer, up-and-comer decided he was going to take over the legacy and the dynasty that was Lance Armstrong. Well, see, Lance came back to the field of cycling for the wrong reasons. He came to rub the nose of others in it. He was an amazing cyclist, despite some of the situations and problems that they all found themselves in. But that aside, it was that sense of, I need to be bigger, better, faster, stronger, and I missed the game. And that's what brought him back to the cycling world. And we all know how that turned out. When he returned is when all of the things started to crumble beneath him, and he was caught for cheating in the sport of cycling. So the comeback has to be driven by something more internal than external. It's got to be done by something that you really feel passionate about, which means you've got to put in all the work and then some, because if you don't make it on the comeback, the chances of you coming back after a comeback, significantly smaller, but not impossible. That's the beautiful thing about all of this. The core principle of a comeback is you having faith in yourself, putting in the work necessary to enter that field of battle, to get back into sobriety, to get back into recovery, get back in that relationship, family system, what have you, and do it with your head held high. Because the stories that you accumulate through the good times, the bad times, and then be recreated during a comeback are what inspire people the most. Significantly, it's why we talk about turning your mess into a message, because everyone loves an underdog story. More importantly, it doesn't matter what took you out of the game, it doesn't matter how you left, what matters is you coming back. So point and check. If you feel like you've made mistakes that are so drastic and so far from you being able to experience any kind of solace or any kind of return, then maybe you best ought to look at the mirror and say to yourself, what's in this for me? Why do I want to make this comeback? Significantly, you will start to find the answers to those questions and more when you start looking inward instead of outward. We're waiting for you to return. There's people that need to cheer for you, that need to see and be inspired by you. So don't waste your time. Make your comeback today. Hit that field of battle with purpose and with principle, living through sobriety, and you'll be amazed at how much and how strong that mess can become a very powerful message.